This is the true story about the documentary, The Perfect Neighbor. So there had been this old lady. We'll just call her Karen, because she was a Karen. She would constantly yell at these children for going and playing in the yard. This Karen did not own that yard. The landlords, they let the kids play there. It's just a yard. It's just like a little area. They play tag, they hang out, and all that fun stuff. And this Karen always comes and ruins the fun by yelling or screaming or throwing items at the kids, like roller skates. There's a mother named Adjag Owens. Now, Adjag was not buying it. And the Karen would always call the cops on them. Anytime the kids would go and try to play in a yard that wasn't legally owned by the Karen would call the cops and say the kids are threatening her and stomping out her signs. And this isn't even a serious case. Every time the cops would come, they skipped a few times. Because you know what? If you're going to call the cops on some kids over 4 times, the cops are just going to start not coming. It's like the boy who cried wolf. Anyway, this cycle repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated. Until one day, a boy named decides to just leave his tablet on the yard because, he wanted to go play and he didn't want to carry his tablet. Now, Mrs. Old Karen took that as an opportunity and took his tablet. Izzy came over to the Karen's house and was like, hey, can I have my tablet back? The Karen then proceeded to say that she never took his tablet and that he was overreacting, and then proceeded to throw roller skates at them. Out of all things, roller skates. Roller skates are very hard. And you know what? Pretty sure those were the kids' roller skates. Their mother, Adjag Owens, was not happy. So at night, she came over to the Karen's house and started banging on her doors. She wasn't opening up. She started banging harder and banging and banging and banging on her windows. To me, probably not the best approach, but if somebody's throwing roller skates at your children, you go get them, girl. The Karen then proceeds to shoot Adjag Owens through the door. Yes, you heard me. Shoot her through the door. It was a locked metal door. One of her kids walks over and he's like, oh my god, call 911, somebody call 911. And all these people are coming and they're just like, oh my god, call 911. And Adjag is just sitting there on the ground, bullet through her chest, dying, very faint pulse. About a minute later, the police show up and they escort Adjag onto an ambulance where she's taken to the hospital. The Karen is immediately greeted by officers at her door. Karen then begins to say, she was threatening me and I was scared for my life and I don't know what to do. Like, you don't go shooting someone through a door because of that. And the officers weren't buying it. They then leave Karen alone for a bit and go to help with the situation with the kids. Izzy and Adjag's other kid are both crying, huddling against their family and friends and just crying their eyes out. Very later, they get informed that their mother had not made it. The kids immediately start crying even more, some of them even blaming themselves guilty. Izzy even tried running away from his father because of that. And I don't think it's okay for an old lady to scream at kids, throw roller skates at them, when the mother was trying to say something. She just kills her. Now, if you don't want me to spoil any more of it and you want to see all this good, juicy stuff yourself, you can go and watch the documentary The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix right now. Anyways, everybody's crying their eyes out. Izzy and his brother stay with some other people for the time being, aka their father. Everybody is mourning the loss, and the cops are still investigating. Not too much later, Karen was interviewed by some detectives. Then she later says, I was on the bathroom the entire time. Actually, let me just play the clip for you.
And she is just banging on my door. I'm like, go away. I'm not dealing with you tonight. And then she started banging so hard, everything started shaking. And I'm like, you really need to leave. And then she, I'm going to kill you. And she's just banging away. You know, and I'm like, oh, she's crazy. And since she has actually harmed me, I'm like, it just keeps getting worse and worse. I'm like, I don't know what to do with her. And she banged so hard, it looked like my door was going to fly off. And
Yeah, that's messed up, right? But you know what? It doesn't end there. Because she gives a timeline, saying that it was about 10 minutes from when she called the police before on the kids to when she shot Ajak Owens. The detectives then later state that they can see and view all the times the calls were sent. There was one call 2 minutes before Karen called again, saying that she had shot somebody out of fear. And the detectives, again, weren't buying it. They let Karen go home and do all that stuff, pack up her stuff, move into a hotel temporarily while everything got sorted out. People started protesting that Karen wasn't getting enough, punishment in legal action for her actions. And people started protesting justice for Ajak Owens, which I think is great, because Karen was not getting enough, legal stuff. You don't kill somebody and then get away with it that easily. Anyway, this goes on and on and on and on, until one day they decide to interview Karen again. Karen then states her story a second time, just a repeat. She's just repeating all her words, saying that she feels very bad. She did not feel bad. Because if she felt bad, she would have been crying genuine tears, not her, it was so sad and I didn't even mean to. And taggers, hi. And it was like, it disgusted me. And then eventually they interview Izzy, his brother, and his father, the main witnesses. Izzy states, she threw roller skates at us, screamed at us, called us the F word, the B word, and was even racist towards them. And that could get you a lot of stuff in jail. His brother then goes to say the exact same thing. And then the father goes and practically protests the same thing. All of their stories made much more sense than the Karen's. Justice for Ajak Owens didn't stop going. It just continued. Because justice! Karen then was later taken to court after the funeral of Ajak Owens. And Karen shows up looking completely different. Probably assuming I'm either going to go to jail or I'm going to live with no fees. And you know what? Karen was charged with manslaughter. I'm also pretty sure she was charged with assault and child endangerment, leading up to 25 years in prison. I think she should have stayed in prison longer. Well, it was actually jail, but still, what? 25 years for murdering an innocent mother, assaulting children, and putting putting lives on stake because of pure annoyance from children? People are disgusting. And I hope that nobody grows up to be just as disgusting as this Karen. People then later on go to say, a mother was killed for being a mother. Justice for Edric Owens. You know what I say? Justice for Edric Owens. Justice. And I hope her family is blessed and living their best lives. All this happened in 2023 to 2024. Like and subscribe for more documentary, summaries. Until next time, my little blubsters, keep on shining.